My name is Jim Walsh. I'm the Director of Controllers Group Services at Bernstein. Bernstein was audited initially for the period of 2010 through 2012. So for that period, the rules were already on the books in New York State to indicate that there was withholding obligations for employees traveling into New York State for non-resident earners. Systematically, this would have been a very large task for us, and we would have had to hire additional people in order to manage that volume of data. So a systematic solution was really the only option for us. It took a lot of manpower because in the end we believed that we had an obligation, but we felt that New York State was highly overestimating our responsibility based on their methodology, which was highly based on an error rate calculation and a projection across our whole population. We had a responsibility that wasn't being met given our current processes. So we engaged with Monaeo early on to, number one, provide a prospective solution, but also we wanted it as a benchmark to identify what we thought was an appropriate withholding calculation for the historical periods. We settled our New York State withholding obligation for roughly 25% of the original estimation. So there is significant value to using the tool because we know that using the data in Monaeo is going to substantially reduce the calculation of an obligation by New York State. It will also provide, very solid evidence that we have a program in place and we are complying with the laws.
Enforcement efforts, states, across the country are getting a lot more aggressive in going after both individuals and even more so companies for all sorts of state and local tax issues. New York has a vigorous program to enforce withholding taxes, so avoiding an audit might be difficult. Really, the key focus is on being prepared for that audit to make sure it goes as smooth as possible.
We developed a training program, which was an informational type program, and we took approximately 150 people through that training to socialize the requirement to withhold for non-resident travelers into New York, and then also to other states where we had high volumes of travelers going to. So the dashboards are extremely helpful to us. The reports are also very helpful because we take the output from the Monaeo tool to then actually go into our payroll system and provide the days and the withholding calculation by state.
From a multi-state compliance basis, it's a perfect storm because you have 50 different sets of rules and you have to apply those rules to a sets of data that you might not have.
Now that we are live with the system, I have people that are able to, number one, support employees, number two, talk intelligently about where people are traveling and where our risk might be, and number three, that we're withholding appropriately in those states. I've found Monaeo to be extremely helpful, client-focused. The tool is very intuitive. Where we needed customization, I found the team to be highly responsive, so it was really a great team to work with.